Thank you for coming through. Welcome to the family tree. Give yourselves a hand for coming on in
Yes,
this
sir.
evening.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Come on,
sir.
give yourselves a Zoom clap. That's right. And if you are joining us for the very first time, this is the time when we call the family tree because we believe that those that are coming in, the family tree is what it's all about. When you want to find something, your greatest security is your family. And that family means you get around the tree and you start just like in the old days, talk about what's going on in the world. But no better place than to go to your security because your social security is not a check. It's your
I
family.
know.
How about
That's
that?
exactly right. That's
So we're
exactly
going to
right.
talk about today any and everything that you want to talk about, but it's in the good spirit of holistic health. Got it? Holistic health. So what we want to do is just make sure if you have any questions at any point in time, just raise your hand, go on down to the reaction section of your front of your page or the bottom of your page, and then put your hand up, and then I'll get to your questions. All right? But
Yes,
we
sir.
say the only bad question is what?
What
You
one is that?
remember? The question you didn't ask. Got it? So
Okay.
we'll try to get that information for you. But before we do that, I want to introduce my co-host with the mostest. That is Bill 1L Morgan. Let's give Bill a hand, Big B. All right. All
Oh,
right, Big B. How you doing today?
yo, man, I'm doing well. I actually got a little brown over here today. That son kicked my hump dilly umpsis, but I'm doing good. They can't mess with me, boy.
All right, all right. Sounds good.
Everything's
Sounds
going
good.
good, man. Going real good.
Good. So before we start off, man, I want you always give us the beat on what's going on when it comes to the numbers. This coronavirus, we are in the pandemic. Let's not forget that,
True,
family.
true,
So
true,
what
true.
are we doing and where are we right now, Big
Oh
B?
man,
Give us
listen.
some numbers, man.
Let me do it. First of all, let me copy them so that I can actually put them in the chat. So because I know everyone's going to ask me what the numbers are, right? So
Yep.
okay, here we go, guys. This is from, of course, our favorite website. That's ncove2019.live. Okay, that's ncov2019.live, and this was just updated what 16 minutes ago. We are
Mm-hmm.
looking at, guys, for total confirmed cases of 150 million 157,639. Those are total confirmed cases. Total critical cases worldwide. And by the way, these numbers are worldwide now. Total critical cases 110,759. Total deceased 3,162,274. Okay. Total active 22,022,066,133. Okay, drum roll time, Dr. P. I know that's right. See, I love it when Dr. P works his hands. Blah, 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 blah. Hey,
Bam.
guys, this is a good mental health here for us, for the family. Total recovered. Okay. Now remember what the total confirmed cases was 150 million. Total recovered, guys, 128,131,024.
Wow. Yay. Let's give that a
That's
shout
what's
out,
up, guys.
family. You
Okay.
know what? That is good
Yes, yes,
information.
yes,
Good
yes.
information, good news. We here on the Family Tree would always like to celebrate those that have gone through it. And there may be
Yes,
someone that's listening right now or on this Zoom call that has
yes,
somebody,
yes.
either themselves or family, that has
Hmm.
also gone through a situation where you have had, been diagnosed with COVID-19, but guess
Yes,
what? You
yes,
went through it, tested positive at first, but then came through, and now you're negative. So we
yes,
applaud you.
yes. Very
That's the
much so.
one number you don't see in the news, and that concerns us. That because with all the doom and gloom, you need to hear some good news, and that's good news. I think everybody, don't you believe that you should hear some how many recovered as opposed to how many deceased every
I know,
day?
I know that's
After a
right.
while, it plays a role on your mental aspects, and that causes more anxiety. We trying to
Hmm.
relax right now, and of course, we don't want no more drama, right?
Oh, please,
So
can't take it.
if you
Cannot take
if
it.
yes, and so if you're listening for the first time, you never heard where we promote this website. It's called ncove2019.live. Got it?
Correct. Uh-huh.
Ncove. That's NCOV 2019.live. That's where we get those numbers. And that's real time
Yep.
information that's
Hmm.
happening as we go through. Okay?
Right.
All right, all righty, all righty. All
See,
right.
Dr.
So
Paul,
what
Dr.
we
Paul,
yes. Hmm.
let me step on you for a second. I had the weirdest thing happen to me
What
yet.
did you happen? What happened?
Hey, y'all, please don't fall over. I'm out in Big Lots yesterday trying to find me some water, from some Crystal Geyser, right? So I'm asking the lady in the front, where I'm actually halfway in the store. I said, where would I find the smaller bottles? Because I need those instead of the larger ones for something that I'm doing this weekend. And there was a lady pushing a cart through the store. And she said, well, what size? I said, the Crystal Geyser in the small bottle. Well, the lady heard me. She said, well, they're over in the corner. This is lady, look, she's pushing a cart in the store. I said, no, I want the little small. And then I went around and I found it. I came back and I told the lady that the small bottle on the shelves. And then I saw the lady come around the corner. I said, excuse me, man. I said, I heard you say something about Crystal Geyser. I'm getting it for something that I'm doing this weekend, but what and why are you familiar with it? She says, well, there was this guy that came to my church and he was talking about the bottle at the source. I said, huh? She said he came by, he was telling us all the great things. And she said, well, I don't remember. I said, you don't remember his name? I said, let me ask you something. I said, hold on a second. And I pulled my phone out and I popped up and I said, is this the guy? She said, yeah, that's him. That's him. That's my colleague. And let me tell you something. We do a program every Wednesday night called the Family Tree. If you want to stay healthy like he told you at your church, guess what? Go to drpaulherb.com and subscribe to the page and join us tomorrow night.
Wow.
She
Hey,
fell
Big
out
D.
laughing. She said, I can't stand it.
What a chance coincidence that you would
That was
meet.
an amazing thing that
Wow.
happened, out of the
Yes.
clear blue sky.
You know what? I hear a lot of stories about folks saying, my great meeting place is at the water aisle in the
Yes.
store. People have met, conversation comes up.
Yes.
One gentleman told me he works at one of the markets, and he said, you know what? This whole Crystal Geyser thing is causing a ruckus at the supermarket because now it's disrupting the water production in a lot of the stores. Some of the
Mhm.
stores stopped selling it because of the fact that nobody buys anything else.
Yes.
So when you got companies coming through, trying to re-up on their regular orders, they say, well, you're going to have to go on back because we didn't sell the last one you had because nobody's buying your water no more. So
Yes.
it is really, you all have, made a mark. Let me tell you,
Most
you
definitely.
know,
Most definitely.
people see the change that it's doing. Remember, it's about the science. And
Hmm.
that's where they've been fooling people for the longest. They figure that people don't know science. But now you find out about the science, spring water, if it's bottled at the source,
Hmm.
that's good water. But if you know that it's either purified, filtered, reverse osmosis, or distilled, what is that water? That water
Hmm.
has what? You've altered the hydrogen. You alter the hydrogen, you alter the charge. Alter the charge, that's dead water. You pull the greatest source of the energy out of the water, which is the hydrogen. The hydrogen is the greatest source of energy in the universe, but it's
Yes.
also in every cell inside of your body.
Right.
So in every
Right.
cell, you got 50 to 70 trillion cells. And of those little cells, the car engine for every one of them is hydrogen. So
Yes.
when you
Yes.
have good water, you're spinning in the right direction. But when you have the bad water, what is it going to do? It's going to steal the energy, steal the charge, send you into a state of what's called acidosis.
Acidosis.
Now,
Yes.
when you're in a state of acidosis, your body's now in a chronic situation. It's in a crisis. So it's trying to correct the problem. So immediately it says, well, wait a minute, I got to put this fire out. I got to put this fire out. So what am I going to do? I'm going to have to find some alkaline. So if you're not feeding it to me, I'm going to have to take it from you. And I
Hmm.
can only take it from my resources, which is my last resources, which I'm going to take it from the calcium out of your bones.
I know that's
Mm.
right.
I'm gonna take it
Mm-hmm.
out your hip. I'm gonna take it
Yes.
out your knees. I'm gonna take it out your joints. I'm gonna take it all over. People say I'm aching all over, doc. What is going on? Too much acid. You got it?
You
That
know,
is one of the biggest problems right there, Big B.
And on that point, I had someone sent in a question, Doctor, a little while ago, and I guess they're having some kind of irritation, and they're saying that it was coming from Crystal Geyser, but I'm saying, I don't believe that. So we'll have to figure out, maybe there's something else going on with that individual. What I kind of recommended that she give you a call and set up
Yeah, if they're
time.
asking any irritation, usually in most cases, some people are so toxic
Yes,
that they start having immediately they having reactions and they're thinking that it's a problem, but actually they're detoxing.
yes,
That's what's
yes,
happening. In most cases, if you're living in this northern hemisphere, you're
yes.
not getting enough energy. They said in
Uh-huh.
1947 you don't have 47% of the nutrients in your food. So
Right.
what does that mean? That means that everything you eat right now, just by living in the northern hemisphere,
Mm-hmm.
is garbage. Everybody is malnutrition. So if
Yeah,
you're
my,
not
my.
doing something outside the box, you're going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's why we start to get number one to get you back on point. You got to drink your water. Only life begets life.
So
That's why
true.
you got to remember, you got to put some life in you. Stay
Mm-hmm.
away from dead stuff. Stop eating dead food. Got it? Fermented
Say
food.
that one more time. Say that
Stop
twice.
eating dead
Dead
food.
food, y'all.
Stop
That's
eating.
getting it.
They love some dead food, man. They love selling dead food. Dead food. So that's why we got to get away. Got it? All
Okay.
right. So listen, we're going to start off with some questions. And Big B, also, if you don't want, some people say, oh, I may not want to go on live. Well, you can just put down in the chat box down there
Yes.
and
Uh-huh.
put your question down there, and Big B will grab it and read it. Also, if you are tuning in by phone and we
Yes.
cannot see you and you have a question, when we get a space, we will just yell out Big B's number. Wait a minute, just reach out Big B's number, and we'll actually try to pull you in at some point in time. Okay?
Yes. That's
All
correct.
right, I'm going to get started, and I'm going to go right down the line. And first person I have here, I have in here, and as I let more folks in, y'all showing up tonight.
That's what's up.
Y'all
That's
are
what's up.
showing up tonight. All right, I have Dolly and Cynthia Gates. Hey, Dolly and Cynthia, how are you?
Unmute yourself, guy. There you go.
Unmute yourself. There you go. Welcome.
As well.
Dr. Paul Hawkins, my question
Donna, hold on one
Okay,
second.
y'all got to mute yourself out. Mute yourself, family.
Mute yourselves out so
Yeah.
that we can hear Donna. And
Uh,
go ahead, Donna.
the plastic um, Ziploc bags, are
Mm-hmm.
they safe to store food and like in the freezer?
Yeah, you probably want to not use those. Whenever you're freezing, you try not to use them as much as possible. There is under all pieces of plastic, like if you have like plastic bottles, like water bottles or any type of plastic, there's always a what's called a reusable rate of plastic underneath each one. And it starts with if you look under the bottom, like if you got a bottle of water right now, you can look underneath of it. Or if you have a water bottle of any kind that you keep reusing to drink your water, that you put water in on a regular basis, look underneath there. There's a triangle. You ever see the triangle? Triangle looks like that.
Mhm.
And in that triangle, usually there's a reusable rate for plastics, for reusable things. The plastic bags tend to not be there. It is what it is.
Mhm.
I would say use something, if you're going to use a plastic container, use glass of anything if you want to keep it. Sometimes if you want to store food, put it in glass. But those plastic containers, it should have underneath there, because there are Tupperware that you can use also. They have a 7 underneath of it. That's the reusable rate for plastic, especially when it comes to drinking water.
Mhm.
So you'll see a 7 underneath of it. You know what a 7 plastic looks like? You ever see the I guess when you go to maybe at your job, you ever see the water coolers, that blue thick plastic? That's a 7. Got it? That's a 7. That's a reusable rate of plastics. That means you can continuously use that for a period of time and it won't leach into the water. Same thing with plastics. All plastic has a reusable rate. and you can go to Google and just punch in reusable rate of plastic, and 7 is what's considered the reusable rate. Okay, so
Uh,
if you're using the Tupperware, if you got to use plastic, glass is better, but if you got to use plastic, make sure it's a 7. Okay, at least a 7.
Now, doctor, on the guys or the small bottles, these small bottles here, can
Hmm.
you reuse these bottles?
No, you cannot. That is
You
for
still can't.
one use.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
look, if you hold that up, okay, all plastic. Yes, we have a plastic problem.
Yes.
Everything is plastic around us. I mean, the very keyboard you're typing on right now is made out of plastic. If you typed in and got in here tonight. So here's the thing. We're not going to get away from plastic because it's a way in which our lives are surrounded by. Yes, there is a vortex that's happening outside in the Pacific that's the size or larger than the state of Texas.
Yes.
You got me? This thing is moving in a gigantic circle. And yes, it's nothing but water bottles, there's plastic containers, all kind of reusable products that have just been thrown in the ocean, and we got a problem. Here's when you look at water. If you hold that water bottle up, you will see a date on there. It says a sell by date. You see it? You gotta
I don't
hold
see
it.
Della.
You gotta hold it up to the light. You gotta really look at it. Okay. There's right around the top part of it. Most water bottles will have a sell by date. Okay.
No, I
And
don't
if
see it.
anybody sees it right around, see where the label is, right? Just above the label, it's like a
Oh, I
timestamp.
see it here. I see it. You're
You
right.
got
Yeah, I
it?
see it.
You
I
see
got
it?
it.
Okay.
What is?
So
Yeah. Okay. I
that
got you.
so wait a minute. What are you saying? Sell by date. Does water expire?
How about that?
No, not the water expires. The bottle expires. Got it? The
Okay.
bottle date on there usually may be from 1 to 2 years. What date do you have
Right.
on there?
I have on here March the 30th, 2023. There you
2023. You got it?
2023. Right. I
So
got
it's
you.
about two
Okay.
years, right? 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
happening is it's not saying that the water expires, the bottle expires. Remember, water is shipped in room temperature only. That's why you never see those Crystal Geyser trucks and stuff when they drop it off. You never see them cold. You never see them hot. So number one things, never freeze those bottles and never keep them in your car. It's about 80 degrees outside, y'all. It's going to be about 80 something tomorrow too. Don't leave them in your car. Got it?
Yes.
Got it.
Because
Okay.
now you've just changed the dynamics of the plastic. Now, if you freeze them, you put them in the freezer, right? A lot of people freeze them. If you freeze them, remember, cold binds. Got it? Cold binds. So now you'll even see where now the bottle starts to expand and it won't even stand up. It's going to fall
That's right,
down.
roll.
Got it?
Roll,
It's going to
roll.
roll now.
Mhm.
Now, when you take it out after it's frozen, and you might say, I'm just going to bring it with me, and you're in the car, and as it's thawing out, now you start to drink it. Now, here's the part of science you got to remember. Whenever something binds together, now when heat hits it, molecules speed up. Now, whatever was bound together now is released together. So it binds up with that plastic. Now, when you thaws out, now it's plastic in your water. Got it? Now you're drinking plastic. Got it? So don't freeze
Wow.
them. Got it?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
heat does things that changes the dynamics. Whenever heat is present, it's going to always change the dynamics of things. So the same thing happens if you're in the car, you got a case of water in your trunk. You say, "Oh, I got some water in my trunk." Oh yeah.
I did, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
All right.
now
Thank you
what
so
you
much, Doc.
all right, so don't let that heat hit there because that's going to melt that plastic. You've just altered that date that's on there. That's my point. Got it?
Oh, okay.
Just
All right.
altered that date. Now you've sped up the speed of that date, and now that water is toxic. So what do? Cool, dark places. That's where you want to keep it. Just like your herbs, you keep your water bottles in cool room temperature places. Got it?
Mhm.
All righty,
Thank
family.
you. Thank
Good
you.
question. Good question. Excellent
Dr. Paul,
question. Excellent question.
on the same point, what if I have one of these new I guess it's like a silver bag that they use for in and outer spaces. They say that keeps everything proper, and I put my water in there and keep it in the trunk.
Well, we got to look at what kind of bottle that, what kind of sack that is, you know.
That's why I'm asking the question because
Yeah.
they're out there and they're being sold, and the people are they're telling people you can put everything in here and put it in your trunk and keep it for almost forever.
Yeah, usually most things are okay until you add either cold or heat.
Yes.
That's the problem. You've
Okay.
now changed the dynamics. Now it's becoming scientific.
Hmm.
Now it's going to now, especially heat. When you put fire to anything or heat to anything, it starts to change the dynamics.
Right.
That's
Right.
anything in science. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Okay, good question, y'all. Good question. All right, who we have here? Is that Helen? Helen?
How you doing, Dr. Paul? How are you,
Hey.
Bill?
Hey,
All
How you doing,
right,
doing,
good,
everyone?
man?
good. Good to see you. Good
Great.
to see you.
Good to see you too. So, the first question I would like to wait until if you could call me back is in regards to my doctor's visit yesterday, and
Okay.
I'd like to have a private conversation on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Call me. The next one is in regards to how often should we eat fish? Should we be concerned since there's mercury in the fish? So should it be eaten frequently or sparingly or every day?
It's based on where you're getting it from. You know, that's the key. You gotta. We have a issue with all food. Period. Period. Anything coming out of the ocean, you have some level of toxicity that's
Yes.
doing because of what they're doing, the oil spills. That's why the cleaner fish is always going to be what? Upper swimmers. Got it? Upper swimmers. That's what? Fins and scales. Ah, wait a minute. The Bible was right a long time ago. How did it know? Yes, because fins and scale keep it moving. Got it? A lot of the issues with the mercury and the poison with fish are dealing with those that are bottom feeders. Got it? Keep that in mind. A lot of bottom feeders are having that. So what's bottom feeders? What would bottom feeders be? Anybody? Bottom
Shrimp,
feeders.
lobster,
Catfish.
Catfish.
Yeah,
Yes.
catfish.
Shrimp,
crabs,
Oh boy.
Shrimp. Shrimp. Lobster. Lobster.
scallops.
Yep, I think y'all got it.
Crawfish.
Yes.
Flounder.
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 Flounder is one.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Tilapia.
Tilapia, you know, I'm going to come to the rescue of tilapia because this thing that they call tilapia ain't a real tilapia. You know,
Amen.
this thing is a modification fish. There is a real
Amen.
tilapia. Do y'all know that? It has fins and scales, and that actually there is a tilapia that comes out of Egypt. Actually, it comes out of Egypt, but not that one that you see now. The one that you see now is a junk fish type thing that they're doing, you know, and that's what it makes it so bad. So just understand, no tilapia. I also say, you know, I always talk about the salmon. It's not the salmon, it's what they're doing to the salmon right now. They're genetically modifying it. As of 2020, January 1st, 2020, modifications of the salmon have been in effect. Then what you're going to be looking for, write this down. Everybody needs to write this down. Made with bioengineered ingredients. If they choose to write it on there, they do not have the option to tell you that it's genetically modified. They don't have the mandatory option until 2022 to
Wow.
actually tell you that.
Wow.
Got
What
it?
if it says it's wild caught?
Like I said, you can buy it if you want to, but they don't have the obligation to tell you. So even if it says wild caught, you don't have the tools or resources to know if they can alter it at any time. They don't have to
Yes.
tell you.
So very
You
true.
got it? So there are maybe some brands. I'm not throwing everybody under the bus because there may be some, you know, organizations that talk the way we talk right now about the genetic modifications, how they're not for it, because there are some. So you don't know that, but some of the higher end things of salmon, maybe like the higher smoked salmons or some of the locks, they may have not genetically modified or adhered to this thing. I'm just saying, you don't have the resources. Be careful. Got it? You got so many other fish that you can get. You don't have to everybody buy salmon. There's thousands of more fish, and they're all upper swimmers, right? What else? Some other fish? Give me some other.
Cod, bass,
Yes, you got bass, sea
trout,
bass,
tuna, tuna,
Red
porgies,
snapper.
Whiting.
red snapper,
porgies.
whiting. You got porgies. Anybody love porgies?
Yes.
Bluefish, bluefish,
Oh, I'm making y'all hungry. Y'all about to
Yeah.
jump off
Outlet.
this line right now, ain't
sea trout, sea trout.
Yes. Yeah.
you? Yep. How about that? Walleye. Y'all remember the walleye? How
But
about
Dr.
croakers? How
Paul,
about croakers? Croakers.
How often?
All
How
right.
often can we eat it
You
though?
can eat it. You can eat it as often if you need to. There's no limitation on fish.
Every day I can eat fish.
You can eat it if you want to. Absolutely. Fish is something of, it is pescatarian. That is part of the essence or essenes. There's what's called an essenes diet. You can look that up. It's called essenes diet. And that's fruit, vegetables, nuts, berries, seeds, and fish. Got it?
Oh,
That's what
okay.
that is. It's called an essenes diet. And that's a combination of things that you can do. When you're talking about staying off the heavy meats, that is absolutely your best alternative, because right now what they're feeding the beef, the pork, and all those things. If you say I eat chicken but I don't eat pork,
Oh, Lord.
or I eat turkey but I don't eat
Can you be sure?
beef, right? Guess what? Guess what? You eat it all,
Yeah.
because when they wash the meat, they all send it down the same vac.
Yep.
The vac is where all the blood from all the animals is washed down the same line. So you're eating it all. So that's the chicken, the pork, the beef, all of it goes down the same line. You got me? So
Yeah,
you're
so
eating.
Dr. Park, the last thing is in regards to the
Guys,
vaccine.
check
Okay,
your
you
mic.
gotta mute yourself, family. You gotta mute yourselves. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I said the last thing is in regards to the vaccine. I'm finding that the people who are not taking the vaccine, they're trying to say that they could be the ones that potentially may have it. And I don't think that's fair. So if we don't get vaccinated, they're like pointing the finger at us, like we could be people who could be, positively carrying this virus. So,
No, it's
by
not.
their
No.
standards,
Well, you're gonna hear a lot of jargon and misinformation. Number one, the problem that's happening right now has everything to do with the fact that J&J just had a mishap. That has just scared the bejesus out of everybody, because those that were even trying to get the shot, that had belief in shot, now 8% of those people who got the first shot are not getting their second shot. That's a large amount of people. 8% is a lot of people. So what does that mean? That the faith in getting it has been diminished. People are now second guessing it. So when you start to now push marketing and media, you got to understand who controls marketing and media. The ones that control marketing and media are pay 80 to 90% of all marketing material and advertising money is the pharmaceutical industry. So that's why you're never going to get in the media, whether it's print media, newspaper, magazine, television, anything, even social media, you're not going to get the promotion to not get the shot or even build your immune system. You got it? So you got to watch who you're listening to. You got to watch that. So when it's all said and done, though, remember those that are starting to do a lot of the modifications to your DNA, you now put in a genetic modification of these things called protein spike indicators, which now take over your natural, what's called natural killers, NK cells. Now you got another sheriff in town. So if there's any capability of mutation that happens, it's going to be in the person that got the shot. How about that? So if there's any lines of mutation that is possible, it's not going to be in the person that didn't get the shot. It's going to be in the person that got the shot. You got me? That's just science. So here you're going to have people saying, yeah, you shouldn't have got the shot. We got to watch the people who didn't have it. But really, you might have to, when it's all said and done, watch out for the people who had it. Keep that in mind. Got it?
Because what they're trying to say is they're scaring people into getting this shot because they're scared that they're gonna, they could die possibly. And then they're saying, on the other hand, people are scared to get the shot because they're afraid that something could go wrong in their system too.
But
So it's like vice
they've
versa.
already played that.
Yeah.
They've been playing that. They play that
Exactly.
all the time. They play that with children who have vaccines. You either you do it because no one wants to be caught in the situation, so they play the middle. Got it? If
Right.
if you don't get it, what happens? If you do get it and it causes an energy, what happens? You're still
You're not going to
liable.
get on
You
the
got me?
plane if you don't get the shot. You got to present a card. If you got to have the shot in order
Well,
to
this
go
well,
on the plane.
this is where you got to calm. Don't get into the jargon of what you hear, because
Yes.
people are going to say all kind of marketing stuff and promotion because they're trying to get people to get the shot. But when you push people, that's what's making people step back even more. So really, you got to look at this. If it's building the immune system, then the person, if they start to make it mandatory on any level, it's going to be more. You're going to see that cross the board with every country. That is no longer a democratic society. That becomes more of a what? Martial law. You got me? So you got
Right.
a lot to look at before you get there. And you're going to get a lot of pushback from a lot of organizations before you make it mandatory, especially in places like down south. You can forget about it. Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, all that, Bible Belt, you can forget about it. They're not going to take it. That's the ones that have the pushback. That's the ones that right now they're closing a lot of their vaccine centers because of lack of participation. People aren't getting it. So it's between you and your God. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yep.
Yes.
But
Thank
the
you so
main
much, Dr.
thing,
Paul.
right? But the main
You got
thing
it.
you got to do is don't stand in a spirit of fear. Stay out of that
That's what
fear
I'm
zone.
getting ready to
God
say.
is
Got
in
it?
control.
Stay out of-
That's
You
right.
got me.
zone.
Don't get into that fear thing.
Yes,
You just
yes.
do what you do. You have the rights. That's the whole concept of what was designed at the United Nations. It was called the Sanitary Act, was based on the separation or the exclusion of people or of the indigenous population. So you had people that were coming to the UN and they were saying that they were not allowed to go into certain countries and practice their, methods of, of healthcare. So, for example, there were some like Australia, there was Ireland, parts of England, parts of the places where people with indigenous could not go. They couldn't go and they couldn't protect. So the UN says, wait a minute, you can't do that. You're going to have to let these people express themselves. That is their culture. So if you go to if you go to online, you go to Google and you punch in United Nations Indigenous Peoples, you'll see their whole breakdown of what they say. So what they say, some people don't believe in breaking the skin. If you break the skin, you've now increased the chances for infection. Now it's considered in a lot of people's religions unholy. You got it? Because what is it, even the Bible says that what? Your blood is the what? The life of the body is the blood. Got it? So if you break the skin, you increase the chances for infection. So that's why if you have a strong religious conviction, that's what you stand on and you declare your position. You say, hey, I have a strong religious conviction. I don't want this in my body. That's what you put out there. You got it? But you have to do something. You have to declare your position. That means you have to give a document or present a document to your doctor or whoever. And that's it.
So the question is, where do we find the documents, Dr. Paul? So we have some kind of a blueprint,
So what now?
a document. Where do we find a document, an example that we can utilize so that when one is approached for this in this kind of situation, what can I do? Can I prepare something ahead of time?
Sure,
And
you can prepare a document. Go to this website. That's Vaccination Liberation. Got it? It's actually www.v as in Victor AC LIB as in boy.org. That is an organization that will give you all the details of what's in a shot, what it was used, the inception of how they used it, how they put it together, where the testing, where the trials were, all of that. Everything's on that website. That was put together by women who had children that were injured by vaccines prior to 1996. Because after 96, now, the US government has established now what's called the vaccine court. And the vaccine court is who they would pay out to anyone that was injured by vaccines. Got it? A lot of people don't even realize there's a vaccine court. So prior to 96, you could sue a pharmaceutical company for anything that if you prove that you had injury from a vaccine, you could sue them. Right now, you cannot do that. Do y'all realize that? Do you realize that if there is something that shows that you've been injured by this, you cannot sue the pharmaceutical companies, and that was established in 1996. So everything has to go through what's called the vaccine court. You got me? So that really sort of lets a sort of gate open for a lot of people to say, well, wait a minute, these guys aren't accountable to nothing. That is exactly the point. You got me?
Right.
All right.
I've got
All right.
the website in the chat area, Dr.
So
Paul.
you can go to some of those particular websites, which is the one that I recommend is that one, VACLIB.org, O-R-G. Just look at it, family. Just read up on it. Get your talking points. So when you get approached by that, now there are some states that are considered right now that they have mandatory. They're going to be moving forward to this mandatory vaccine. New York is absolutely, because if you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere. Got it? But for children or vaccines for mostly children, it started in California. Got it? And after California, you got Mississippi, you have West Virginia, you have one, of course, New York, and now there's a bill posting right now with New Jersey. So if you're in Jersey, there is a bill in motion right now to make it that you cannot even, you remember, there's two exemptions. One is medical exemption, because some people have a medical exemption. They just don't have, they have either issues with a reaction to what's in the vaccine, or you have a strong religious conviction. You got it? Those are your two options. So you can actually stand on those. But some states don't have it. Those are the ones that do not have it. So that's why a lot of the people are leaving places like California, and they're homeschooling their children, or they're moving from the state of California and those other ones. Got it? All right. Anyone else? Let's see. Big B, you got anything on the chat there? Any questions on the chat?
Well, let me see. There were a couple up top of here. Barbara, so she says she caught a lot of oyster cracker fish and she don't eat it. Throw it back in. She was
oyster.
Yes.
Throw them back. That's right.
Throw them back. Okay.
That's right. Throw them back. That's right. Hey, when you have, I would say, fish is so good for the brain. But again, you got to ask, when you go to a fish market to say, hey, do you know what, are this fish have fins and scales? We good to go. Got it? Fins and scales. All right, let's see. We got Ronald on the line. Ronald, what's up, my brother?
Unmute yourself, Ronald.
You gotta unmute yourself, Ronald. You got. There you go.
All right. Okay. With all of this things happening in India, with so many people dying in India right now, it's virus is out of control there. So, should they take it because they're losing so many people? It might even surpass the United States pretty soon.
Yeah, India's problem is that they're creating more variants because the people. Have you ever seen anyone getting on the train in India?
Yes.
It's a mess.
You ever see it? See, they have zero social distancing. That was an accident waiting to happen. Just because they've been mentioning this for a long time. They've actually their ability for social distancing is almost impossible with their social, whichever way you're traveling, you're taking the bus, the car, the train, wherever. It's got a lot of people over there. So that situation that's starting to spiral out of control has everything to do with social spacing. And now the variants are going to now build. Because remember, you're taking a shot for 2019. You better not get hit with 2021. Whoa. Mm. That means that you ain't prepared for 2021 because it done already mutated for 2 years. You remember, the shot you're getting right now is for 2019. You got me? Mutation, always things try to mutate. They're trying to procreate, so they're going to build. So what you see what's happening over in India right now is that there's this thing is we're about to see another variant coming out of India. Already we have 4 here in the United States. Y'all know what the 4 are here in the United States? Anybody know what the 4 are?
So,
Anyone? Well, we have the United States version, right? Then now
Brazil.
the dominant right now is the UK. Then you had the Brazilian one. Remember the
South
Brazilian one? Yep.
South Africa.
And then you had one also coming from South America. There was also a I believe it was a Mexico. There was one. Oh, Minnesota. Yeah. So what you're seeing is variants starting to build. It's starting to mutate. So that's what you have to do. So what do you have as the greatest that you can only bank on? Your immune system. Build your immune system. Start to do the things you have to do. But the concept is that you don't know what you're doing. That's why they're saying take the shot, because you don't know what you're doing. But you do. All you got to do is feed the body. The body corrects itself 11 times faster. Got it? All right.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
Ron. Okay. All right. We got Thomas on the line. Thomas?
Hey, how's it going, Brother Paul?
All
Good,
right, man.
right.
Dr. Paul. And hello to all the family out there. This is my first time listening, and so
Welcome.
I'm just grateful. I'm learning so much. Thank you.
Hmm.
My question is, I just want to say, I've been told that fruit should be eaten separately in the morning before on an empty stomach because it ferments other food, other things inside the stomach. So my question is, should you mix fruit and vegetables in a blender and digest that all together? Is there some kind of effect that way? That's my question.
Absolutely no. Yeah. See, you don't mix fruit and vegetables in the same way. There's actually I do have a food chart. I'll see if I can pull that up. Okay, here's what's going on, Thomas. Whenever you say fruit, we say fruit in the morning because fruit stimulates. Vegetables in the afternoon and evening because they stabilize. Remember, this thing is about energy, so you have to move based on what you do. So fruit stimulates. That means that it moves because it burns at different rates of speed. You got it? So that's where the vitamins are. A lot of vitamins are from a lot of fruit. But the minerals are the stabilizers. Those are the balancers. So when you wake up in the morning, take off, that's your fruits. Got it? Then when you level off around 12 o'clock on down, you should be taking veggies. Never mix them together because you're going to start having that start-stop feeling. You're going to have like, I think I'm all right. I don't know. I feel like running, but I want to sit down. What's going on? You're going to have that feeling going all the time. And you said, I think I'm all right. No, I ain't right. I got to do something. You're off balance. You got it? People will try to explain that. And they said, I can't feel, I don't know what's going on. I feel strange. They'll say stuff like that. That's because you're mixing fruits and vegetables together. All of those juice, whether it's the NutriBullet or the Ninja or the Vitamix, they all break the rules. You cannot break the rules. Fruits and vegetables do not mix. Now, I do have on my website, Big B, I'm going to have to pull up on that website and I'm going to grab everybody and I'm going to share the screen tonight. All right, I'm going to show y'all.
While you're doing that, there are a couple of things that from the very beginning that I did not see. One was asking about do you have any herbs that open up hair follicles?
Mm-hmm.
We have for women who go through menopause and the hair follicles get smaller and no new growth can get through. What do you suggest?
Okay, so I'm gonna give a hair formula. We're gonna get a hair growth formula. Y'all want to grow some hair? Anybody want to grow some hair?
You think I could use some help?
Bill, there's still hope, man. There's still hope, man.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I can use it, brother. Bring it up.
Carol, what Carol?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. All right, all right. I'm going to pull up now. I'm going to see if I can grab,
Okay.
for Thomas over there. Thomas, you still there? Okay.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, hold tight. I want to
Thank you,
give
my
you.
brother. Thank you.
I want to give you and you can go right to my website, drpaulherbs.com, and you can get let's see if I can do this, combinations chart. I believe this is it right here. Food combinations chart. Yep, this is it. I'm going to share this one. I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to share my screen so that you can all see. Okay, let me know when you can see it, family. All right. Should be up in a second.
There you go.
You got it?
It's there. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
food combinations chart. Now, here is the concept. Everybody see this, right?
Yes.
What you want to do is follow the flow of the arrows. Follow the flow of the arrows. Got it? So in this case, let me just read it from the top. This is your food combinations chart. One type of food at a meal is ideal for the easiest and best digestion. Combinations of several foods at a meal should be according to the chart below. A meal should not consist of more than 4 foods. Y'all got that? Y'all got that? Say hey, somebody say something.
Sir,
I
yes,
can't
sir,
see
yes, sir.
nobody. All right, good.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Hey.
All right, Hayes for horses. All right, y'all, let's go. So, all right, we got this now. We got proteins on this side. Remember, starches on this side. We got vegetables in the middle. We got fruit at the bottom. Got it? So follow the flow of the chart. Now you can download this right on my website, okay?
Sir, I have
So
one right
proteins and vegetables would be a good combination. Starches and vegetables would be a good combination, but never proteins and starches. That would be a poor combination. Got it? You got me, Thomas? You still there? Okay.
I'm still here. Very interesting. That's
Got
good.
it?
Thank you. Wow.
Okay. Vegetables and fruit would be a poor combination.
Watch the arrow.
Acid fruits and subacid fruits would be a fair combination. Subacid fruits and sweet fruits would be a fair combination, but never acidic fruits and sweet fruits. Poor combination. Got me?
Mm,
Got it?
yes. Wow.
Now, watch. Proteins and acidic fruits. Poor combination.
Wow.
Got it?
Ooh, yes.
We also have starches and sweet fruits. Poor combination. You got me?
Whoa.
So, family, follow the flow of the arrows. That will lead you to ultimately what you're doing is balancing your energy. Remember, this is an energy game. The body doesn't know anything but energy. This is an energy game. And the body says, I don't know nothing. I just want the energy that's not the food. It's the energy in the food. So if you're eating certain foods, you're balancing and losing energy. I have so many people that are taking so many herbs and you're losing the energy because you're taking the wrong herbs and they're stealing the energy from you. You got it? So there's senders, there's receivers and balancers of energy. That's the same thing as we are. Got it? So some of the herbs and foods speed up, some slow down, some of them balance out. So you got to know what you're eating and why you're eating it, right? So some combinations don't belong together. How about that?
Excellent here.
All right, Thomas, you can
Thank
go
you.
right. You can go right to my website and grab this chart right here and download it, family. I'm gonna go back to show you where it is. There it is. It's called Food Combining Chart. Can y'all see it? Wait a minute. Let me screen. Let me share again. If y'all can see this, it's right here on my website. So when you go to drpaulherbs.com, you just go to downloads and you would go to the very bottom and it's food combination chart. Got it?
There you go. Right
Got
there.
it? All right, family.
Thank you.
Good question. Good
Right.
question, Thomas.
Okay.
Good
Oh,
question. You just helped out a whole lot of people because they tell you they don't know that fruit
That's right.
stimulates, vegetables stabilize. Got it? All right. All right.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Who else we have here? We got Wendy. Wendy?
Hi, Dr. Paul. Hi, Mr. Bill.
Hi, Wendy.
Mr. Bill here, when he was talking about the guys of water, that was me that asked him
Oh,
about
that
the
was
guys
you?
of water.
Okay.
Now,
All right. All right. Let's
yeah,
get Wendy a hand.
my
Yay. All right.
as I was on two separate occasions, I had experienced my throat getting sore. So my question is, what other water can I drink in that place? Do you encourage that I keep drinking that? Because I did remember you mentioning from dead foods, so I could be guilty with that too. What is
Okay.
this that I'm eating?
Say that again now. You're saying that you had a sore throat?
My throat was getting irritated.
Okay.
And so I
What?
thought maybe the first time when I did it was because I had, was drinking so much lemon water. Maybe that was irritating. So I said, you know what? I'll try it differently. So I stayed away from the lemon water and tried it again, and I was getting the same feel, the little tenderness in my throat.
Okay, watch out for, and this is a good one. I'm glad you're bringing that up, Wendy. Watch out for what kind of. Are you aware of whether it was a organic or a conventional lemon?
I am guilty. I was not using the organic lemons at first.
Okay, okay. So here's where you got to catch it, family. Good stuff, though, Wendy. I'm glad you brought that up. Very, very, very important point. Remember, with the conventional fruits and vegetables, we talk about the numbering system, the little numbers on the fruits and vegetables. We always talk about, watch out for the threes and the fours, right? The four-digit number starts with three and four. That's called the creation number. Tells you how it's created. Yeah, it has something to do with the pricing, where it was, and what they mix it with. There's a lot of coding in going on there. But remember, conventional, they also spray it with this thing called chlorpyrifos. Okay?
Mhm.
Chlorpyrifos is the spray that they used to spray on Black Flag and Raid. Got it? They took it out of Black Flag and Raid back in 1996 because the children started having children come up with these same symptoms with like lung issues, with also a lot of toxicity and poison in the blood. Why? Because when mommy and daddy are spraying for bugs, here's baby on the ground crawling, and now baby puts hands in where? Mouth. Got it?
Mhm.
So a lot of the symptoms has everything to do with, things in the mouth, throat, and lungs. Got it? Be very, very careful. It could be some of that. Now, they took it out of Black Flag and Raid, but they never stopped spraying your conventional fruits and vegetables with it. So it's on there right now. So watch and make sure you clean all fruits and vegetables. What do you clean it with? You got to clean
Baking
it with
soda.
baking soda,
Baking soda.
aluminum free. Got it?
Oh,
So
okay.
that can have something to do with it. Absolutely. You just explained what chlorpyrifos is doing in places like Puerto Rico right now. Puerto Rico is having a big problem because places and companies that are associated with them, of course, like Monsanto and stuff like that, they're spraying in places that are around the areas where people are living in Puerto Rico. So a lot of people who like have homes that are close to these farms where they're massively spraying, they're all having lung issues, breathing problems, feeling like their throat is like closing up on them. You got all the sinus issues, anything dealing with the throat. So when you said that, that immediately jumps out. Be careful, family. Be very careful. Got it? Wash everything. Watch and stay away from conventional if you can help it. Got it? Family, don't sleep on Aldi's. Aldi's has made a commitment to go after the holistic market, and they're trying to get that market to have affordable food that's organic for the family. So don't sleep on Aldi's. Got it? All
Is
right, but
there no
make
chance?
make
Is there
sure
no
it's
chance?
hmm.
Sorry about that. Is there an alternative water that I can use?
Yeah, any water that's spring water bottle at the source. So you got Fiji,
Oh, okay.
you have Avion, you have Icelandic Glacier, you also have Eternal. Did I say Eternal? Eternal
He didn't
Glacier.
say it. No.
Okay, Eternal. There's one called Aquapana. Aquapana, Panna. All good
I
stuff.
Fiji.
So there's a lot of them out there, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I done tested all of them, and the number one that can't be beat is
Geyser.
that dollar store water
Right.
on sale at
Add
Acme
that
at
way.
88 cents this week. Yo.
That's exactly right.
88 cents this week. Y'all better wrap it up. Let me tell you. I tell you, God is good. I'm
So
gonna
should
tell
I
you.
What'd you
continue
say,
to
Wendy?
drink it until I push past maybe it's just the first part of it of drinking it now until I push past and maybe I'm not possibly not getting sore, my throat
I
not
think you
feel
got
like
to
it's getting
watch.
sore.
If you're talking about sore, that's a reaction to something. Either it's
Yes.
cold. Is it too cold? Are you drinking it cold? Are you putting it in the refrigerator?
I'm
Uh-oh,
guilty.
she just told on
You
herself. Yes,
just
she
told
did.
on
You
yourself.
took too long there, Wendy. You took too long. You took too long. She turned her head, Bill. When
Yes,
she
I
did
saw that.
that,
Turn ahead and look down.
So room temperature.
it's cold water. I'm telling you. All right, family. This is what I got to get past. I know some people saying, I can't drink water unless it's cold. All right, let me help you with this. They said they did a study. And the study was they went into the number one time that people they started with the heart, right? They said, why is this sometimes like what happens when certain days the ER is just packed with people, and the number one day that is more people than ever is Monday mornings. Monday mornings. Did you know that Monday mornings is more people in ER than ever,
Wow.
especially also after the change of time? Like, do you know how you move forward or go back? It's people have the highest rate of going to emergency Monday morning. So they said, wait a minute, we got to do a study because this is crazy. This is driving us crazy. Why is it that there's more people on Monday morning? Well, first, people going to jobs they can't stand. All right, number one.
Amen.
God, he said, "Amen." so, so when you go into the jobs you can't stand, they said, "Well, we're gonna have to start to do pre and post evaluation with people when they come in." So they started asking people, "Well, what is the number one cause? Heart attacks. Heart attacks Monday morning. People going to jobs they don't want to go to jobs they can't stand." Or they're unhappy with their lives. So they say, well, okay, we got it. It's heart attacks. But now let's look a little deeper. What is the last thing you did before you had a heart attack? Guess what they said? A cold glass of water. That's exactly it. A cold glass of water. Why? Because remember, your body is at a temperature of 98.6. 98.6, right? Have you ever took cold water and put it on something? Like if you pour water on your hand right now, what would you do? You would go like that, right? Oh, right? That finching is the same thing when you drink water that's cold, goes by every organ, vital organ in your
Yes.
body,
Yes.
and it flicks like poof. So you can send yourself into an afibrillation situation where you can throw off the electrical impulses in your heart because it's too cold. It's like that. It's a shock. And that's what they found was causing a lot of people's heart attack. So cold water. Remember, the body cannot use the water until it warms it up to 98.6. So your body's trying to warm this water up to actually get to 98.6. Now, the only time you can use cold water is when your body is overheating and you need to bring it down. Got it? That's the only time you should be drinking cold water. Any other time should be close to room temperature. You can keep it like sometimes in the freezer, not the freezer, but the refrigerator. You know how you got some of those small little refrigerators that keep it like a nice little chill, not too cold. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Just don't get freezing cold. You got it? So, yep, heart attacks, y'all. Number one cause for cold water. Wow. So where did Wendy go? She just disappeared,
I'm
didn't
here.
she?
No,
I'm
she's
Oh,
still
here.
there.
you
Yeah.
I'm
got
here.
it. Okay, Wendy, be careful
I'm
because you
here.
know what? It's going to cause sore throats. When you have sore throat, that means the water was too cold. Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right.
righty. Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Good stuff, though, Wendy. Good
And Dr.
questions. Good
Ball, also,
questions.
is that specifically for older people, or is that the same situation with the young people with that cold
That's with
water?
everybody.
I was
Yep. You'll get a cold.
I
Yep. You'll
just
get
had
a
the
sore throat.
conversation just yesterday with my students. They were talking about the fact that, well, they just had to have some cold water. They just came back from the basketball court. I got to have some ice water. I said, first of all, brain freeze, okay? And secondly, we get to talking about the idea that the body cannot use that water because it's too
Until it
cold.
heats it up to 98.6, right? Your
Exactly.
body cannot accurately use the water until 98.6, so it's got to
Wait,
warm
now
it
what
up.
about that's on the other end? When the water's too hot, you got that hot tea with that water just burning,
Yeah, not
And
too hard. That'll give you a sore throat also if it gets
yes.
too hot. Yeah, you'll have that next day, and you wonder why your sore throat
Okay.
is burning. It's because you did. It's too hot. Too hot.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
All right, good stuff, y'all. Y'all got some good stuff tonight. All right, all right,
What
all
about
right. Who else? Who else? Let's see who we have. Is that?
got something?
Let's see who else is here. Who else is here? They have their hands up. I have is that Cecilia? Hey, Cecilia.
Hello, can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm good. How you doing?
All right, all right.
I just have a quick question about
Okay,
about cashews. I eat cashews
Yes.
like they're
okay.
going out of style. I can't just eat a handful of cashews, and it's always unsalted cashews. But my question was, can they cause kidney stones?
No, only thing that's going to cause kidney stones is lack of number one magnesium in the body, but also dehydration. It's your water. Yep, it's always causing that. Usually, the majority of those who have kidney stones usually it's because they're not metabolizing properly, and like I said, no water, lack of water, dehydration, also concentrated, too many concentrated foods. So that means staying away from refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. And the last one is that's a lack of presence of magnesium. Remember, magnesium is what breaks down calcium. So if you have calcification in any part of the body, it's because it's no longer able to break it down. So that's sort of like the residue of the body not having enough magnesium, because magnesium opens the door and allows to get calcium into the body. So if it can't break it down, it's going to be left over. Yep, calcium deposits all over the body. Got it. So your cashews though are good though. Your cashews are on the alkaline side. Remember, the
Okay,
cashews
good.
are on the outside. Y'all know what? All right, let me show y'all something real quick. Let's go over here. All right, let me know when you can see it. All right, you see it?
Not yet.
So just got a blank screen, color screen.
You don't see it?
No.
No.
We see us again duplicated. We don't see anything else.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I'm gonna grab this one here. Grab that one.
By the way, is my volume okay now? Because someone said my volume was down.
All right, let me know if you can see this one. Okay, can you see
Nope.
it?
Not yet.
No.
I don't know why it's not letting me do this one. Hold up. There it is, right there.
There we go.
All right.
There
Got
we
it.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay, so there you go. So if you can see where the nuts, so on the acid alkaline food chart, you would go right down. You would go to the nuts, of course, right here. And on this side, you would see the cashews. See the cashews over here? Pumpkin seeds. Hi. Hey, hey. Pumpkin seeds. Non, make sure they're not salted.
Right.
If you're going to put salt on anything, you can add your salt, which is what? A good unrefined salt, which is like a Himalayan salt.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. On this right side, watch out for the hazelnuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts. See where they are? Fall on the acidic side. Now, doesn't mean that they're bad for you. because you can have a lot of the hazelnuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts are very high, good protein, good for brain food. Brain food. What does a walnut look like when you open it up?
Brain.
Looks like the brain, right? It's good for the brain. That's called laws of complementary pairs, or we call not laws of complementary pairs, but it's called doctrine of signatures, which means that AKA that's God's signature, letting you know what it's good for. Looks like a brain, so good for your brain. Got it? All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Don't get your formula now,
wait a
but
minute,
go
one more
ahead,
thing.
Dr. Paul.
Okay,
Can we
Cecilia.
go to the hair loss formula before you forget?
There you go.
The hair loss
You
formula.
heard me say it.
Yes.
All right. Sure. The hair loss formula. We can go into that. Remember, the issue with hair loss has everything to do with circulation. You know, a lot of people have circulation issue, and it also goes back to a lack of copper in the body. So one thing that can help with circulation, you can get a chelated copper to start with. Okay, chelated copper. Here's one right here. This is chelated zinc right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's a good brand right there. They have a copper also. This one's called Blue Bonnet. And you can use that one. Let's see if I can grab that right there. Oh, can you see that? Right there. Stop it. I can't take it. I can't take it.
Who's the manufacturer? Well, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, Blue Bonnet. That's a brand. Okay, Blue Bonnet. And they have a chelated. What is chelated? Chelated actually means they bind it with organic matter. Because you can't take raw minerals like that. The body can't recognize them, so they wrap it with the organic matter. And that matter is amino acids so that the body can absorb it. And then what it does is sort of bounces around and grabs the energy. Remember we said this thing is about energy, right? So it's kind of grabbing around, grabbing the energy. So that's what you want to do. So that would be number one. If you're doing the formula for hair, a few things we stimulate the scalp with. Remember though, has everything to do with circulation. So you would take this combination. We say not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. That's food for the soul, family. All right. You would take number one. You can take castor oil. You can take also aloe vera gel, not the juice, but the gel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can also take. There's a different combinations. There's a lot of different combinations, but this is the one that I use the most. You can also use lavender oil, which soothes, a tea tree oil, and the last one you can use is called cayenne pepper. Okay? And what that does is, remember, the cayenne pepper is the adjutant. It actually starts to stimulate the scalp. So when you have that, take a latex glove, latex or non-latex glove, and you would use that to mix that formula. You would use it based on the coverage area that you have. Nobody can determine that except for you, but your bases will be the castor oil and the aloe vera gel. Got it? The cayenne pepper. I must tell you that you should have, and everyone has to adjust this based on the texture of their scalp. Some people will need a little bit more cayenne pepper. Some may use less based on the sensitivity of your scalp. So once you put that all together, you would apply it with your head forward. So you would take a bowl of everything we talked about, and you would place it literally with your head moving forward. Because what is happening? You remember, it's a circulation problem. So its problem is that the body has to pump up. So its problem is pushing up, is why you go gray on the top of the head first. You got me? Y'all still following me? You got me, Cecilia? You hear me? So you're pumping it up. Got it? So that's why it's pumping it to circulation and nutrients to the melanin, to the cells, or actually to the hair cell follicles, so that they can actually turn black. But in this case, that's why they turn white. Circulation. So when you apply this, you apply it with your head forward. So gentlemen, if you're losing hair, or ladies, if you're losing hair, You can apply it with your head forward like this. Sort of have the bowl between your legs, and when you apply it with the gloves with your head forward. Got it? Because now, if your heart is level with your heart, it can get to your scalp. Got it? Circulation can get to your scalp. That's like if you ever see Big B? You know, some guys have like you ever see guys with hair from here on up, from the heart on up is gray, and from the here down is black. That's why. Because the heart has to pump up, and now there's less circulation. They got a circulation issue. Got it? You can see it right there. So gray hairs are up here, but black down here. That's what it does. So when you do that, Cecilia, you apply your head forward and you stimulate the scalp. It should burn a little bit. It should burn a little bit. That's the whole concept. When cayenne pepper touches your skin or in your body, it turns to nitric oxide, which dilates, doop, opens up. So it'll open up the pores, allows the castor oil and all of those nutrients that we talked about to get into the scalp, to feed the scalp. So now your body can start to now get the circulation moving to stimulate hair growth. Got it?
Okay.
How's that sound? Now, when you finish that, I would say 15, 20 minutes applying, have it burn a little bit, increase the intensity if you have to, lower the intensity if you have to. Then after you leave it in for a little bit, probably you want to come out, wash it out in about another 30 minutes or so, and then you put something like the aloe vera gel in there to just use it as a moisturizer. Got it? That would be one completion. Got it? So that's what you would do. All right, family?
All right. Thank you.
All right, all right. I'm gonna tell you now, Big B. I've seen some people bring it back, man. I've seen some people bring it back, man. I've seen some bring it back, man.
I should have met you 20 years ago. I'd have been black. I'd been cool for days.
All right, all right. Hey, Troy, we got Troy on the line. Troy,
Hey Doc, how you doing, sir?
brother Troy, how you doing, man?
Excellent. I can't complain. I got two small questions. The first question is in regards to the colon cleanse. It's 100 capsules in there, and I think you said something about a 30 to 40 day cleanse. Should I stop after 30 days, or just keep going until the bottle is empty with the colon cleanse before I start the other pill?
I would try to go through the whole bottle. Is this your first cleanse that you're doing?
With this type of cleanse, yes.
And what cleanse do you have?
The one that you have.
Oh, you have mine. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to do, here's where we call it the 40-day detox because it's based off the biblical principles of 40 days, fasting, things like that, but also the 40-day principles that ride all the way through the Bible in so many days, so many levels of 40 days. So detox happens, we got to get the body moving. So there's a term called desired results. Everybody write that down. Desired results. The desired results means that everyone's system is totally different. So you, Troy, you have to find out what works for you. Everyone's system, either some of them faster, some of them more sensitive, just like we talked about the scalp. Same thing going with the food because people eat different foods. So the desired result would be as soon as you eat, soon after you eliminate. So if you eat 3 times a day, you should be eliminating 3 times a day. Got it? So you're monitoring yourself as you're going through the cleanse. If you notice that you're not doing that, then you need to increase and keep it going. Got it? You try to get as close to that desired result that soon after you eat, soon after you eliminate. That means you're getting closer to the balance of your body. Got it? So if you're at about 20 days or so, and you figuring that, wait a minute, I think I'm about that at that 30-day moment, but I still got some more pills left. If you notice that you're getting in rhythm, then you can stop. But if you're finding that you're not in that rhythm, finish it till the end of the bottle. You got it? So you're trying to get as close to your desired results as possible. Okay?
So I stick with the 2 pills.
Yeah, and then start with that. I usually tell folks to start off with at least 2 after dinner because some people never try the cleanse at all. But you got to get it moving. You're trying to get that desired results. You know, we gotta pick up these eliminations, y'all. You gotta move the bowels. You know, right now we're in a toxic situation where everyone is constipated. So you gotta get it moving. The food is dead, so now you gotta put that life in it. So Troy, right after you finish the colon cleanse, you want to follow it up with a parasite. Always follow up with the parasite formula, and you treat it the same way. Got it?
Okay. Yeah,
Try
I
to
have
do
it.
it. Yeah, so you cleanse and sweep. Remember, never just cleanse without sweeping. Because if you're a meat eater, especially, or if you're cleansing for the first time, you always know that everybody has parasites. And if anyone tells you they don't have parasites, they're not telling you the truth. You do. Everyone has parasites. So when they feel that they're being threatened by a cleanse or trying to be eliminated, they will try to spawn more. So that's when you follow up with the eliminator to clean that out. They will try to spawn by the thousands. So you don't want that to happen. So you want to follow up with that eliminator and you'll clean it out. You'll notice that you'll have no bloating and things after that. Okay? Good stuff, Troy. Good stuff, man.
Oh,
I
that
got a
was a
second
Lodelia,
question.
Doc.
Okay, second question. He got a second question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It actually piggybacks off the cleanse.
You mean veggie back? You mean veggie back, right?
Yeah. I actually went a week.
That's good. That's
Uh,
good.
I
Mhm.
actually went a week without the bowel movement, and then I think I increased the pills a little bit. I think I took like 3, and I went to 4.
Uh huh.
Not to be disgusting or anything, but so much came out to the point where I had a hemorrhoid. Then that was a problem. I was like, so what can I do to avoid that from happening? Especially when
Well,
the hemorrhoid was back, because that was a problem. The
yeah. And
hemorrhoid.
now keep in mind, I tell try not to go past 3 right now. Try not to go past 3 because there is in the formula that I have. You got to if you just keep the consistency, it will level off. Just stay
Okay.
consistent. Just stay consistent with the 3, because when you start to do more than that, there is in this formula the adjutant is African bird pepper. Got it? African bird pepper, which is used to break that. You remember, you got to have a presence of heat in there to start moving things. So don't get too much. It may have you just have to back down just a little bit. Okay, so you probably just have to move instead of 4, just back down to 3. See, this is what I was saying about some people's sensitivity levels are different. So if you ever experience that with any cleanse, just back down. You got it. Just back down a little bit because you're now learning how sensitive your system is. Okay. So probably just backing down to 3 right now is what I would do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff, Troy. That was a good question, man. You just helped somebody, man. I'm telling you, man,
Thank you.
these colon cleanses, man, that's the number one question I get. Say, man, I can't go to the bathroom. I had somebody tell me one time, I said, well, how many times do you have elimination? She says, what do you mean? I said, how many times do you poop? She says, I don't poop. I said, what? What do you mean you don't poop? I don't poop. I said, what do you mean you don't poop? She made me drop my pen. I said, what do you mean you don't poop? You got to poop, girl. You got to poop. And she said, I only poop once, maybe 2 times a week.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my.
absolutely. You got a
Wow.
lot of
Let
people
me get
that
my
don't
back
move the
hurt.
bowels. Absolutely.
Wow.
Probably the most advanced situation that I've ever had. I had somebody that didn't move. They move once a month.
Wow.
Y'all don't even believe this stuff is happening, but it is happening. I'm gonna tell you. They move once a month. I said, "Are you eating every day? Where you think it's going? You think it's disappearing?"
That gave me
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is real, y'all. Real talk. This is real talk. This is what's going on. So that's why when you see a person that has overflowing of toxins, it's going to build up so much that it's going to start to come out of the skin. The body's going to say, well, if you're not going to get rid of it, then I'm going to push it out of you. So send it to the surface of your skin, and now they have all these outbreaks, bumps, blisters,
yes,
boils under the
yes.
arms, all that stuff. That's because you're not moving your bowels. Got it? And that's why you got to get that moving. All right, family. All right, who we got
Is
now?
there
I'll
a
get you in a
Logella?
second, Keith. I got you. I see you. Nadine. I got Nadine waiting over there.
Okay.
Hey, Nadine.
Good evening, Dr. Paul and
Good
Mr.
evening,
Bill.
Nadine. How
Hey,
you doing?
family.
Right,
I'm good.
right.
How are you?
Good, good.
Look what I got.
What you got?
Look what I got.
She got some green
Look
drinks,
what I
Big
got.
B. She got some
Look what
green
I
drinks. She
got.
got the willow
See, look,
water.
look,
Woo!
she's
Let me
hiding
tell you,
all the good stuff.
she didn't hijack the store.
Yeah, I went to Pollock's today. I'm excited. I'm excited to do this. Up and everything. My
Mhm.
question is this. Um,
Is that somebody got to mute? Is that somebody muting? Come on, we got to mute somebody, y'all.
Mute yourselves, guys.
Somebody mute
There you
yourself.
go.
Go ahead. Sorry about that, Nadine. Go ahead.
um, I do things, natural things, and very, very good for energy. My energy, I've always been a high energy person, but
Mhm.
due to I believe it's my MS, and I hate to blame a lot of things on that. I try not to,
Mm.
but I've always been a high energy person. I believe it has a lot to do with the MS
Mm.
because I find myself taking the natural things that I've always taken that used to work for me, but it don't anymore. And I, feel sleepy a lot of times. Is
Mm.
there something that you could recommend for energy? Because um, I have too much to do to be sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you said, yeah, I hear you. You got a lot to do. You got work to do, Nadine. That's right. You got to, and don't need nobody slowing you down now. That's right. So here, remember, keeping in consideration that you're talking about MS, right? Multiple sclerosis. Did you say multiple sclerosis?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that there is that's the autonomic system. Okay, autonomic system is the motor skills. So definitely you want to make sure we have to make sure you sort of find out. You got to do a little mystery on what could be causing disruption in that motor system. So some people can go back to food choices. Watch that top 10 toxic food list. Got it? Because you're battling one thing with that central system, which basically the myelin sheath. You know about the myelin sheath, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and that is disruption in the myelin sheath, which is like a coating. Everybody ever had a extension cord hooked to a light and you shake the extension cord and the light flickers? That's basically a break in the line. That's the concept of the myelin sheath. Just a little break in the line, something. Well, what causes that can be a lot of different things. That's why, Nadine, we would go through a whole consultation with finding out what that would be. But keeping that in mind, you got to start to look at the liver. Okay, you got to clean the liver and keep that liver strong. That's your power nuclear reactor right there. That's your power source. The liver cleans not only the blood, but it's also the power source that has a reserve energy of about 8 hours backup energy. Got about 8 hours. So that's like your backup battery on your right side. Everybody touch your right side right now, under your rib. The other right there. Yeah, the other right. The other right. Yep. That's the right side. Got it? Right on that side is where the liver fires off to the brain. That's what keeps the brain moving. That's why, that's what's called the laws of complementary pairs. It's cooked directly to your brain. So when you want to clear your mind, you clear your liver. But that's the nuclear reactor for the body. So that's where all the energy stores. But some people, Nadine, have problem holding that charge in that liver. That's where the pH. So I would recommend you testing your pH all the time. Do you test your pH? Did you get your pH strips?
No. See, that's why I need to come and see you.
Yeah. So I would do that because I see a lot of people who are tired or have this, wavering thing of energy has everything to do with the liver not holding the charge. It's the grounder. That's what holds the charge. And so you got to strengthen the liver. So a liver detox sometimes is in order. That's what we look and see if that's the problem. But also, I'm going to go one more level deep. I'm going to tell you, it has a lot to do with salt. How about that? Salt. Now, what do I mean by salt? Well, if you got high blood pressure and you may be listening, you say, "Well, see, I don't mess with salt. Big B, I don't mess with salt no more." Because they told me that if I had too much salt, that's bad for my blood pressure. But guess
Right,
what?
sure do.
Guess what? You need salt. You got to have salt. Salt is what grounds the charge, but it's what they're doing to the salt. They give you the bad salt, which is the refined salt, but you need unrefined salt. Salt is what holds the charge and allows the liver to hold that energy. But when you don't have enough salt, there you go. Just like that. Got it? That's why the Bible said you the salt of the earth, right?
There you go. There you
Right.
go.
Now you can't have no salt. Somebody lying. Somebody's lying. Got me? You need salt. Don't ever think you don't need salt. Matter of fact, if they rush you to the ER, what they gonna do when they get you in there? They're gonna stick you in the arm.
Saline.
Gonna put that saline solution in you. Got me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
know
do
who?
Himalayan, and I've been
Yep.
doing that for over 10 years. And
Right.
I do Epsom salt baths.
Mm-hmm. So
Uh,
Himalayan salt bath would be
raise my
even better.
magnesium.
Yeah, take a Himalayan salt bath. That helps to reset the charge also. So we would look at the whole dynamic when you come in, and we'll see where the energy is, where you're losing it somewhere. Definitely there's some things that repair the myelin sheath to start to regenerate it. I have a gentleman, matter of fact, I don't know if he's on tonight. Is Mark on here? Mark Kinsey? Mark usually pops in and all. He may pop in and out. But Mark was one of my men in our men's group who's multiple sclerosis. When I met him, he had 2 drop feet. Who literally he could not even move his feet. And he just came into our male chorus at Enon and said, you know what? Help. That's all he didn't knew anybody. He just came in and said, help. Somebody help me. And I said, well, this guy just kind of walked in and just asked for help. And I said, well, brother, I'm going to help you. So I worked with Mark for about 2 or 3 years. And guess what? One day, Mark just got up, and after the classroom, and he just threw the crutches down, said, Doc, I'm feeling good, and started walking. Everybody in the men's group couldn't believe what we were seeing. That's because we started to regenerate that myelin sheath. We started to regenerate that line. So now he's repairing the line. Now he's on Facebook showing him working out at the gym. He's in the aqua, he's in swimming, he's doing everything. And it's interesting because they told him that they said in 2 months, 3 months, you're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You got me?
Okay.
So, what does that mean, family? Got to make sure you're not losing the charge. So that's what we would look at, Nadine. We would look at your charge. Put you back in balance again. See, rhythm, cycles, circadian rhythms, these are things that we have to get back into that we've all lost. You know, but we know I'm going to come to everyone's defense. We haven't been taught it. Number one. Number two, we're surrounded by everything bad. You got it? So it's a constant struggle. You know, you don't know what you're eating anymore because there's no accountability for the food. So come on in, Nadine.
I am, because
coming in.
yeah, I'm going to call and make an appointment. The next thing is, I need you to help me with something because I get hot. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got a few of them. I get hot, and I'm
But
tired
you
of
know
being
what?
hot.
I'm looking at your thyroid right now. That's what he is. See, you know, that's thyroid. Anytime, you know, ladies, remember thyroid is weight, temperature, and pressure. Got it? And that's what's usually firing off and that's the voltage regulator in your body. So whenever you see thyroid, that's always 3 things. Write it down: weight, temperature, and pressure issues. I want everyone to start to monitor yourselves. Make sure when you look under your chin, okay, right under your neck area, look for the double lines. Got it? Double lines. The visual test is the most accurate that you could ever do. So ladies, make sure you look under and I want you to check all of the women in your life. You got me? I do mean this. I really do mean this. If you see the line, the upper line and the bottom line, and there's puffiness right in the middle, that's a sign of irritation, inflammation in the thyroid. You got it? On the thyroid, looks like a little butterfly in the middle. On top of it is four little dots called the parathyroid. The parathyroid deals with calcium regulation. But remember, weight, temperature, pressure, weight going up and down, temperature, going to cold room, you hot, going to hot room, you cold, pressure, tingling in the feet, sometimes cold feet, things like that. Tightness in the legs, things like that. Circulation, got to shake your hands sometimes, get that feet going. That's all cold all the time. Those are signs of thyroid. Got it? So how do we do that? We recognize balance with thyroid going back to sea vegetables. Got it? Sea vegetables. I mean, Nadine, you do. I know you do some sea vegetables, right? You do any sea vegetables?
I do. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what, Dr. Pod, I wasn't dealing with this until the MS.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Right.
diagnosed in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't dealing with the hotness until then.
Right. Remember,
And
yep.
I'm a tiny little thing, so it's not a lot to me. So
Right.
I have gained some COVID-19 pounds, but I just lost 11 pounds.
I like that. She said COVID-19 pounds.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah, so that's why we would have to address that, that issue with the MS. I will give you the recommendation after we do the urinalysis, but also the RM3A will show everything. And from that, it'll tell me exactly what the autonomic system, how it's functioning, if it's high, low, things like that. And from there, I can definitely put you on that plan that we do for those with multiple sclerosis, the recommendation. There are specific herbs for you, but we got to find out the right ones for you. Got it? But yes, that all goes back to sea vegetables. So if you're listening, sea vegetables are the trace minerals that most people need for that, but also the protection, because the thyroid is very important for radiation. I'm going to tell you this, though. When more women are having issues with hypothyroidism, too fast, too slow, they're giving them the DEXA test. The DEXA scan is a scan where you lay on the table and they scan your bone density to see if that, could be contributing to it. And then they recommend some form of hormone treatment. But here's the problem. In the DEXA test, it actually says in the disclaimer, it says in the very small disclaimer line, it said, this test may confuse water and fat for bone. Wait a minute. That makes it inconclusive. So that means if you have water and fat, then you could be this not accurate. So only thing that you can bank on is the visual test. That's why, ladies, I want you to start to keep that look at that. If you see two lines, upper line, lower line, and thickness in that area, puffiness, that's thyroid. Got it? So sea vegetables. Not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent disease, just food for the soul. What are we looking at? We're looking at what? Things like what? We got kelp, chlorella, spirulina. We got bladderwrack. We got nori. We got sea moss. We got dulse. All colors of dulse, even purple, brown, or red. Got it? All good. So any of those will be excellent for you. All right? All right, good stuff, Nadine. Good stuff. She popped out. Okay, good. All right.
No, thank you.
All right, there she is. All right, we'll see you. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay. All right, Big B, you got anybody in the chat there with a question? I'll take a couple more questions before we go out. We got one more question before we go out. Okay, go ahead.
Hand raised. Lodella Williams, she had a question, Dr. Paul.
Okay, Lodella, go ahead.
Yes, hello, Dr. Paul.
How you doing? You sound like you in the tunnel. Where are you?
No, well, I think it's my room that I'm in is it's a high ceiling, so I always sound like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, what's up?
Okay, but just two things real quick. One, I started the 40-day detox.
Okay.
And I was the type of person that went like maybe once or twice a week, but now I am going once a day. So that's is that going to get even better? Or
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would think that, I mentioned the desired results. She's starting to get closer, isn't she, family? You're moving
Mm-hmm.
closer. If you only went 2 or 3 times a week, now you're going every day. That's a start. Got it?
Right, but it's not 3 times a day, it's just once a day.
Yeah,
Right,
it's a
right.
start. It's a
Crawl,
start.
walk, run. That's right. Crawl, walk, run. Take your time, okay? Make sure you're
Right.
hydrated. Make your drinking. Remember, you got to put energy in the gut. That's where the energy comes from. That's why you don't want probiotics. Stay away from those probiotic things that they've been teaching us to do. You are the probiotic. So you feed prebiotic, which is greens, hydrogen-based greens, plant life, land and sea. You create the probiotic. That's what's going to keep it clear. You got
Right.
it?
And as far as the green balance, even after the 40 day, I should just continue taking the green balance, right? Because that's my multivitamin, right?
You got it. That's your multivitamin. That is correct. If you can do, let me tell you the secret, family. Do it 3 times a day. You're going to see a change. You got
Yes, I
to.
do it 3 times a day.
If you hit it 3 times a day, you can't have that much energy in the body not start to change. And also, you got to get plenty of sleep. You got to get plenty of sleep. Get in that deep REM sleep, y'all. Don't eat or drink after 7 o'clock. What time is it right now? Y'all about to go right now. They said I was just about to go get my steak sandwich in a few minutes. About to go get my steak.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah, yeah. Don't eat them chitlin hoagies and stuff, y'all. Leave it alone. All
Whoa.
right.
As far as my water,
You made the back of my neck.
Put it down. Drop the chitlin hoagie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I am drinking my water, but I'm drinking essential. Is that okay?
What was that now?
I'm drinking my water, but it's the essential water.
Oh, that's what's the problem right there. Oh,
Don't
that's
drink
it.
essential.
Oh, you just killing the food. You're killing it. Absolutely. Remember, no purified, filtered, reverse osmosis, or distilled. Essentia is reverse osmosis and distilled. You got it? You got
Okay,
it?
so I have
You
to
got
stop
it?
drinking
See, it's
essential.
going to lose its charge. It's at 8.5 when they charge it, but remember, they're taking it and they're distilling it, and then they're adding minerals for taste. So what are they doing? They're adding cheap white salt, which is refined, which means it's going to lose its charge. And ultimately, you got to ask yourself the question, if you got to purify reverse osmosis or distilled waters, what was it before you had it? Bad water.
Bad water.
You got it? It was bad
Mm.
Okay.
water. From
Okay, I take the water.
So get the good water. Get you any spring water bottle at the source. Got it? And you're gonna see that colon cleanse take another level.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, all right. Hey, Big B, I think that is it,
We
man.
got
And
one
I
more.
Hey,
think
Doc.
What do you?
we
What do
got
you?
one more. Oh, we got Keith. I didn't get Keith. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Keith. Go ahead, man. How you doing, bro?
Good, good. How you doing, Dr. Paul?
All right.
Remember when I came in and saw you it was 3 weeks ago? I think it was 3 weeks ago, and I said I can't sleep.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yes.
then you called me up, and what I've been doing is I've been grounding and rooting to a tree for the last 2 weeks, and man, I've been sleeping.
Oh man, yo, you gotta tell them what happened, man, because that was really bizarre. That
I
was
mean,
really
because
bizarre.
what happened was I wasn't sleeping for about 2 months,
Yes.
and I didn't have I was sleep, but I was taking different medicines.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was taking sleeping pills, and I didn't want to do it, but since I talked to you and you told me, said, hey, look, man, you got to ground, you got to ground to the earth. So I've been doing that every day for 30 minutes.
Mm.
And I take no more sleeping pills.
Woo! Let's give him a shout, y'all. Let's give him a shout. The boy getting some sleep.
I'm getting some sleep now. I just want to thank you for that, Dr.
Hey
Paul.
man, you look like you getting some sleep. Cause when I saw you, I said, Keith, wake up, man. All right, but let me tell you a little bit about this story. I'm so glad to hear this because Keith, when Keith came by just very spontaneously, came in, and then we just happened to have someone that canceled that day. So you just slid right in and just started talking. I think we only missed, we were like 30 minutes we talked.
Right.
And you said, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I don't know what's going on. I just wanted to knock on your door and say, I can't sleep, man. What's going on? So I said, you got to start to ground yourself. Get back in. Well, we didn't even talk about it then. We talked about herbs
Right.
and stuff. So I think I gave you a couple things.
Well,
And
first
then,
of all, though, you told me about my back alignment. I went
yes, a
right
back
after I left
alignment.
you. I went and got my back aligned the same day.
Okay, good. So you got your back aligned because I said you got to
Yep.
be structurally sound. I
Yes.
said, and then after that, if that's not going to help. Look at the herbs. I think we talked about a few things. Now,
Right.
all that went on, and then on Saturday, it was like a Saturday, out of nowhere, I just said, let me call Keith and see how he's doing. And I mean, I just called you out of the blue, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. And then I said, Keith, do you have a shungite around your arm? And
Yeah.
you said, yeah, because when you were in there, I noticed you had the shungite on there. I
Yes,
said,
I
well,
did.
that shungite grabs energy, man. So you may be it may be too strong for you. So with that shungite, maybe you have to reset before you put it back on. And you're like, well, what do I got to do? I said, well, you need to go to a park. And you said, I'm at a park right
That's
now.
right. Yeah. I was at
You
a
were,
park.
you were literally at a park. He's like, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm at a park right now. I said,
Yeah.
well, guess what? Grab a tree right now because the trees are rooted to the earth. So that's gonna get your grounding and charge perfect. So better than you standing in grass. You stand on them roots. If y'all got a tree, sit under that tree, and let me tell you, that's gonna ground you and reset your body and get your rhythm and everything better. Let me tell you, when you go to bed, you go to sleep, you're gonna have the best sleep you ever had in your life.
And that's what I'm
Just
doing
like
now.
that. So you
That's
get
what I'm
under the
doing
tree.
now.
Anybody got a tree in their yard?
I'm glad
Yeah.
you said.
Cut it
I'm glad
down.
you said that.
That
'Cause
tree in trouble right now.
I
That
know
tree
that's
is in
right.
trouble.
I'm glad you said
That
that because I
tree
don't know
is
about
in
snatching
trouble.
something wrong with that boy.
Why do you think
Hey,
that
look.
when the philosophers, when even they say Elijah and all them when they
Yes.
thought the prophets and things, they sat under trees.
Trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about that. There's a reason for that. The great philosophers and the prophets and the apostles and stuff, when they wanted to meditate, they sat under a tree and usually
Yes.
probably sitting on the bark, the part of the
Yeah.
root of the tree,
Yes, sir.
because there's actually something going. So kick off them shoes, y'all,
That's
because
right.
just make sure they no poop around, nothing like
My
that.
Lord.
Get on there and just get yourself rooted to the earth. And if
That's
you're
right.
facing the sun, that's even
Even
better.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Get in the sun and sit on that root. Let me tell you, you're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
change something. Well,
Yes,
Keith,
sir.
I can say only congratulations, my brother. Let's give him a
Thank
hand
you.
one more
Thank
time,
you.
y'all. Everybody. Boy, getting sleep. He gonna sleep
Thank
good
you.
tonight, ain't he?
Dr. Paul,
AD,
Dr. Paul, can I ask
Yes.
you a quick question?
Okay, go ahead, Flo.
Thieves soap. What do you think about thieves soap?
Thieves oil. That's the same thing as the thieves oil. It's the soap in soap form. That's it. So yes, I use that also. I use the thieves oil soap. Yep, it's all good. Yep. Pollock Herbs and I believe Wayne Avenue sells both of those. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what is that? That's good for COVID-19 right there. If you use the
That's
soap,
right.
you got it. All right, family. Oh, y'all got some good stuff tonight, man. Big B.
What do you take for ADD, Dr. Paul?
ADD. Yeah, that's a whole family tree show right there.
Oh Lord.
You got to get your back to hormone activity in the balance. So you got to watch. You watch the sugar. Watch the sugar.
Yes.
Usually when we see attention deficit disorder, it really is something they made up because when they got the guy, I don't know, real sidebar, real quick. Y'all got a real quick second. You want me to tell you real quick thing about the ADD?
Okay.
All right, when the guy that actually created this, he was in Germany, right? He's a German, and he comes in and they were at this conference over in Europe, and they gun to him, and he's about 90 something years old, older guy. He didn't passed on now, but before he died, they came over to him and says, Doctor, I think his name is Dr. Enderling or something like that. He was a German, right? And he goes over and they said, well, we love your contribution to attention deficit disorder and how you actually, coined this whole thing and you really have helped people. He said, He said, I ain't do that. Y'all did that. He said, I was just trying to identify people that wouldn't pay attention in my study. That was it. Y'all termed it attention deficit disorder so that y'all can grab that and put a pill behind it. He said, y'all ain't putting that on me. And he was 90 years old. Because when you 90, you can say anything you want to.
Right,
And
right.
you know what? You can say anything you want to. He was not. He was very unapologetic that y'all started that. Don't put that on me. So all them children y'all got on attention deficit disorders and all that ADHD and HDA, he said, that's y'all. Y'all just made it a study so that y'all can put more poison into the community. He said, I just had a study that was based off of people who didn't want and pay attention to my study. Wow. That's
Wow.
when you 90 something, you can do anything you want to.
Say anything you want.
I had an aunt, she said, Lil Paul, I'm 90, right? She opened every conversation like that. I said, hey, Aunt so-and-so. She said, how you doing, Lil Paul? I'm 90, right? So he told it, and he told it right. So keep that in mind, got it? It's just attention deficit disorder. It's a disrupting in the nervous system, got it? So you just have to start to get things that calm the system back down. Valerian root, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease. Just food for the soul is valerian root, willow bark, kava kava, passion fruit. All of these things are good for the body, just off the top of the head. Anything that's going to call lavender. All of these things are good for calming the system. Red raspberry. Every woman listening should be on red raspberry. You got it? Red raspberry. So keep those in your arsenal and keep it moving, y'all. All right? Big B, it's time to get out of here.
Yes, sir, man.
It kept me to 9 o'clock. I didn't even realize what time it was.
Say there, you'll get
I didn't even recognize what time it was, man. Hey, family, did y'all get anything out of this today?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Big B. Big B's going to close us out. Tell them, little Big B, what we have and how they can stay in, and if they want to be a part of the family tree and how they can do it. All right?
Yes, indeed. Of course, as always, guys, this is nothing we all make that we make something that we have to do. But just to keep us going, just Dr. App, okay, and just do your little donation there, and that is the, what is it? That's the dollar sign, capital DR, capital P, L, capital HOP, all right? And use that, donate as you desire. And by the way, if you want copies of tonight's chat, send that to mechavideo@gmail.com. That way we'll make sure we get that information out to you too. Because you know what? This is for the family. We want to make sure that everybody, bring somebody like you're continuing to do and get more focused so we can do what? Save the family.
All right. We got somebody mute yourself out. Everybody mute yourself. All right. I just wanted to say to everyone, we always talk about the family tree. This is a family effort that we come together. And to keep this going, we have that Cash App down there that if you want to donate, people have asked, what do we keep it going? And all the proceeds don't go to me or anything. That goes directly to Bill because Bill is putting that stuff on social media, and that's a job, y'all. Keeping it out to all the social media. So if you want to see this or view this, you can go to drpaulherbs.com or actually Facebook, Dr. Paul's Holistic Health Network, and you can see all the shows that we put up. And that's all because of Big B over there. He puts it together and he does the editing and all the things he does. So that's why we got to keep it moving, family. Keep it moving, stay encouraged, and remember, if you're breathing, you got a shot. You got it. All right, so we're going to close out. I want to thank everyone for coming through. Remember, keep somebody, bring it and share this information with someone tonight. If you got anything out of this tonight, take it and give it to somebody that may need this. Because sometimes, you never know when you are changing someone's life. Just like Big B, just happened to run into somebody in the store. That could have been you, or somebody running into somebody who never knew anything about water. And believe me, it really makes a difference when you start talking about, people that are coming in and literally are they're really a heart attack away from a situation, or a stroke away from a situation. You don't know what water will do and how many people have been saved by small things like that. So now, don't count it all joy that you have the information now, but I'm going to charge you with one thing. And what's that? I'm going to charge you with the truth. You got to tell somebody. Got it, family? That sound about right?
All right.
All right. You're all charged with the truth. All right?
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to close out, but you know how we always close out. Big B, you know how we always close out, man. We close out by doing what? We're going to dance a little bit. Y'all ready to dance? Y'all got something we're going to dance with?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to sing. Everyone, thank you so much for coming through. All right. Can you hear? All right. I want to thank you all for coming through. Stay in touch. Be on the scene. Make sure that no matter what you do, listen to our shows on this weekend. We're going to be on Saturday morning for WRD 900 AM. Also Sunday morning, and that's going to be Sunday at 3 o'clock actually. Big B, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you, man. All right, family. I want to tell everyone, keep up the good work. Keep your immune system built up. And we'll see you next week, all right, on the Family Tree. All right? Bless y'all. And may God keep y'all. All right? Just shake your hands. You got to move you. Yeah, yo. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, there you go. Come on, y'all gotta shake it like y'all know y'all can shake it. Come on. Some of y'all just too cool. Y'all look like y'all can't even sweat. Y'all too cool to sweat, ain't you? There you go.